Okay, but what does it actually mean when someone says it's a high or low downforce track? Well, in a very generalized way, it means that the track's characteristics are going to affect both the driver's driving style and the car setup. But why is that? Generally, a high downforce circuit is one where the car's performance is mainly impacted by the aerodynamics as opposed to its power. And so, as you might expect, for a low or a power track, it's the other way round. And one of the main factors in determining which one will be more important is the circuit's layout. More specifically, it's generally based on the proportion of time that the car will spend on the straights versus the corners, and therefore a mixture of the number, the distance, and the speed of the straights and the corners for each of the circuits plays a role in this. And here are examples of high downforce tracks. And here are examples of low downforce tracks. When a team is deciding what the best downforce setup will be, they have to think about where they're going to gain the most time. Because if they have a lot of downforce, they should get a lot of grip in the corners. But at the same time, it will negatively impact their straight line speed because they will be creating more drag. Therefore, it's all a bit of a balancing act. And sometimes teams will get it wrong. Whilst other times, a high downforce track or a low downforce track just doesn't really suit them. And those two situations can be part of the reason why certain teams don't do well at certain tracks. Also, there is another slightly confusing element to all of this. The circuit layout is more general guidance than a strict rule, and that's because external factors can also play a role in this. For example, altitude can make a track one way even though its layout would have made you think it was the other way. And of course, there's another layer to it because there are some tracks that are a bit more in between. For example, they're Spa. Finally, going into a race weekend, if you want a bit of a hint about what the teams are thinking, you can look at the rear wing. Generally, the flatter the rear wing, the lower the downforce setup.